Hey guys, welcome to Parade. My name is Andrea Renee, and on my channel, I like to do makeup tutorials, hauls, and beauty routines. So today I'm gonna be showing you guys some great high-end and affordable products with Deluxe or Dupe. I'm gonna be doing a golden hour look. This is actually a really popular look for the summertime, so that is what we're about to do. So let's get into it. Now, I like to start out with a primer. So the Deluxe side, we're gonna take the Milk Hydro Grip primer. This is a great primer if you're wanting your makeup to last all day long. It does a great job with gripping the foundation. So we're just gonna go ahead and apply maybe a pump and a half since we're just applying it on one side of the face. We're gonna go ahead over to the Dupe side, and this is gonna be the e.l.f. Cosmetics Mint Melt Cooling Face Primer. This is almost spot on to the Milk Hydro Grip. So I'm gonna take about the same amount and put it on this side of my face. Only difference between this and the Milk, I feel like, is this makes the skin feel a little cool, and they're also both really hydrating too, which I really like. So I usually like to let my primer sit for a few minutes before I go in with my foundation. So while I do that, we're gonna go ahead and move over to the brows. I have the Fenty Beauty Brow MVP Brow Pencil, and I use the shade Black Browns. And then for the Dupe side, I have the Flower Beauty Skinny Brow Pencil, and I use the shade Espresso. Both of these are very similar. They have the same exact brush. And the pencil itself, they are about the same size. So we're gonna go ahead and apply Fenty Beauty over here, and then we'll move over to Flower Beauty. So the first thing I like to do is brush up my brows, and then I'll go in with the brow pencil. And I pretty much just trace under my brows, and then I trace above the brow, and then I just go ahead and start filling it in. Now we're gonna move over to Flower Beauty and doing the same thing. I'm just gonna brush my brow hairs up a little bit while tracing under the brow, over the brow, and then filling it in. Moving on to foundation, I use the shade Sandalwood in the Estee Lauder Double Wear Foundation. I'm just gonna pour a little bit of it on my sponge, and now we're gonna apply the Estee Lauder on this side. And then for the Dupe side, I'm gonna take my Revlon Color Stay Foundation in the shade 600. This is one for oily combination skin, and I find that this foundation is perfect for all day wear. I feel like both of these are really similar because they are great long wearing foundations. Moving on to the concealer. For the Deluxe side, I'm gonna take Hourglass. This is the Vanish Concealer in the shade Maple. This is a full coverage concealer, so I'm not gonna do too much under the eyes. Just apply about this much down the side of my nose, my chin, a little on my forehead. Since we are doing two different concealers, I'm gonna blend it out. And then for the Dupe side, we're gonna take e.l.f. Cosmetics 16-Hour Camo Concealer, one of my favorite drugstore concealers. Love the coverage of this. I feel like this is just as good as the Hourglass concealer. They both have great coverage, and they look so pretty on the skin. All right, so concealer is done. Now I need to go ahead and set it. So for the Deluxe side, I wanna use my Urban Decay setting powder. This is the All Nighter Translucent Setting Powder, which is perfect if you have oily skin. I have oily combination skins. I'm just gonna put Urban Decay right up under my eyes. Everywhere that I applied concealer, that's where I put the setting powder. And I always like to get my smile lines too, because they do crease. So just put a little bit of that setting powder in the smile lines. And then for the Dupe side, I feel like e.l.f. Cosmetics matte setting powder is very similar. I use the shade Medium, and we're gonna do the same thing, putting it right up under the eyes, just everywhere that I applied that concealer. So after I put my setting powder on, I like to go back in with another setting powder just to set the actual foundation, so around the perimeter. So I'm gonna take the Makeup Forever Matte Velvet Powder. I use the shade Y505, and this is gonna go on the Deluxe side. I'm just taking a big powder brush, and we're just gonna go ahead and buff the Makeup Forever powder on this side. I also like to take it under my chin too, because I'll also blend the foundation under there. Just want to make sure the actual liquid foundation is set on the face. Now for the Dupe side, I feel like the lip bar is a great alternative to the Makeup Forever because they both have the same finish, and I use the shade Brown Sugar Babe for the lip bar. Doing the same exact thing, just brushing it around the perimeter, under my chin, just like the temples of my forehead. Now let's do my favorite step, which is a bronzer. So I'm gonna take the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Pressed Powder. I use the shade Deep Amber, and this is gonna go on the dupe side. This is a great alternative to the Charlotte Tilbury bronzer, and I use the shade Deep in Charlotte Tilbury. So starting with Charlotte, I'm gonna take my little fluffy brush and just put it around the perimeter of my face. I like to take it right here above the cheeks and then bring it on the temples of my forehead. Then we're gonna take L'Oreal and do the same exact thing. All right, we are done with bronzer, you guys. So what do you think? I feel like everything still looks the same. I honestly cannot see a difference. Now let's move over to the eyes. I wanna use the Artist Couture Supreme Nudes eyeshadow palette for the deluxe side. And then for the dupe side, we are gonna take ColourPop. This is the Sparkler Pressed Powder palette, and I feel like all of the shades in this palette are very similar to the shades in the Artist Couture Supreme Nudes palette, even though you have more shades in here, but the browns and the bronzy gold looking shades are very, very similar. So let's take Mink, this really pretty dark chocolatey brown, and I'm gonna take this on the outer corner of my eye first because I like to have that smoky look. So I'm just gonna press it on the outer corner of my lid. Really just pack on that color on the outer corner. And then I'm gonna take the ColourPop palette and I'm gonna do the same exact thing, picking up a different brush. We're gonna dip into the same color right here and do the same exact thing. Tap it on the outer corner of the lid. Now that we have both of our shades on the lid, I personally like to take both of the brushes and wipe them off so that way I don't have too much of the product on the brush, because once I start blending, I don't want too much of that color to go into the crease and above the crease. And now I'm gonna take that brush and start blending to soften up the edges and just blending it into the crease just like this. And doing the same thing with my other brush and doing it on this side. Now that everything is blended, now I want to go in with a bronzy shade. And I'm gonna use my finger for this one. So I'm gonna take the shade Bronziana, this middle shade right here, because this looks very similar to the shade in the ColourPop palette. And I'm just gonna take it on my lid and also kind of bring it in the inner corner like that. So I'm gonna do the same thing with ColourPop. We're gonna take this color right here and I'm gonna do the same exact thing. So now that that is on, I'm pretty much done, but I do wanna go back into the eyeshadow and blend. So I'm gonna take those same two brushes that I was using and I'm doing the same thing. I'm just going in the crease and also kind of bringing it over and just blend, just softening up those edges. We are down to the last step, which is another one of my favorites, which is the lips. So we have MAC Cosmetic Cork. This is gonna go on the deluxe side of my lips. And I just have on a lip balm, so that's why my lips are a little bit shiny, but I'm just gonna take cork around the edge. And then I'm gonna take e.l.f. Cosmetics Retro Paradise. I have used the mess out of this, you guys. Look how tiny it is. This is nude number 3, and it comes in a set. So doing the same thing on the other side. So now I like to go in with a gloss. So on the deluxe side, I'm gonna take my old favorite gloss from Kevyn Aucoin. I used to use this all the time. This is in the shade Sunlight, and this is a gorgeous, gorgeous, bronzy, shimmery gloss for a golden hour look. Now for the dupe, I'm gonna take one of my favorite glosses from the drugstore, which is the Maybelline Lifter Gloss. This is in the shade Crystal. The shade is very, very, very similar. The only difference I would say is you can see the shimmer in this one a little bit more, but we're gonna take this on this side. Now let's spray the face and we will be done. So I wanted to do something hydrating and a little bit dewy for the look. So we're gonna take the Glow Recipe Watermelon Glow Ultra Fine Mist on the deluxe side. This is a super hydrating mist. It's one of my favorites and I love that it's really fine. It doesn't look too clumpy when you spray it on the face. And then on the dupe side, we're gonna take the e.l.f. Cosmetics Dewy Coconut Setting Mist. Very similar to the Glow Recipe. The only difference is this smells like coconut, but they both give me that same glowy, hydrating. They're so similar. And I also like to take my sponge and just lightly tap over the skin. This is just gonna make sure that the product is soaked in, and we are done. All right, so this is the final look. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope that seeing some of these products can help you achieve the perfect golden hour look. Make sure you guys subscribe to Parade's channel, and don't forget to head on over to my channel to subscribe as well. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.